here's Brody Brazil.
The topic and the main point of this video are definitely a sign of the times here in 2025. Because go back even as recent as like 10 years ago. Could you really have ever imagined ESPN and Fox teaming up on something? Like competing sports entities now collaborating on putting their very best products together, making it a bundle, making this a better deal and value and experience for sports fans and viewers. Like, these are two networks that tried to undercut each other on price and contracts with sports leagues, and they were very much in competition, still really are. But now, when it comes down to the final product and what they're actually offering customers, they are, in fact, teaming up. This is almost like if the Red Sox and Yankees did a deal with each other for all of their fans, right? Like, hard to imagine at one point, but to that extent, it is the nature of the media landscape here in 2025, and so now they are collaborating. What exactly is coming here? Well, ESPN and Fox separately have announced their new DTC platforms, which are both launching simultaneously right around the corner, a little more than a week from now on August 21st. DTC is a fancy way of saying direct to consumer, which is a fancy way of saying it's a brand new app. And it's going to be ESPN and Fox selling themselves directly to you without the need for a cable or a satellite subscription. So now you can get all of ESPN's live programming plus all of their new recent acquisitions with the NFL properties and WWE properties, $29.99 per month. You can get everything that ESPN has to offer without a cable subscription. So that's kind of the evolution of this. ESPN is going straight to you, the consumer. Fox is doing the same thing. However, they don't have as much of the surrounding programming. It's just everything that they do, all of their sports and weather and news content in one place for $19.99 per month. So you got to think about this. Is it a good deal for you? Are you somebody who doesn't have cable or satellite anymore and you just want everything that ESPN and Disney do, or you want everything that Fox does, including all their sports? Are you willing to pay these prices? But it's a brand new way for these networks to get themselves to you in this cord-cutting era. You can now, though, and this is the main point of the video, you can now get those two services bundled, right? So the price would have been higher if you bought them both separately. You can now get them bundled starting October 2nd, ESPN and Fox One for $39.99 a month. Now, I should also take a step back to remind you that about a year ago this time, we thought these networks were actually combining to put their apps and their products all under one roof. It was going to be a service called Venue, and actually TNT was also involved. This was initially going to be a combined platform of all of these networks, something called Venue, which was legally challenged for antitrust exemptions. $42.99 per month was going to be that price as of this time last year, but it was challenged legally by competition Fubo in January of 2025. And instead of going the whole route of the lawsuit and the settlement and trying to figure this out, well, Disney made it easy. They bought out Fubo, right? But they still didn't go forward and make this brand new service called Venue. So to be clear, and I said before that ESPN and Fox are collaborating, they're still coming out with their own separate products. Fox One and the app, the DTC app called just ESPN. It doesn't have a fancy name. Separate products, but they are merging this package so that you can buy them bundled together and get both all in the same swing. So what are the two networks on the two sides saying about this? Shawn Breen, who, I don't know, is Shawn related to ESPN announcer Mike Breen? Is that possible? Shawn is a Disney executive vice president. Shawn says, quote, "Working with Fox One on this bundle offer allows us to bring ESPN's world-class sports content to even more fans in a seamless and innovative way. This collaboration reflects our shared commitment to delivering premium experiences across platforms and meeting consumers where they are, anytime, anywhere." That is very fancy marketing speak right there. Eloquently said, straight to the point, but also dressed up quite a bit. Tony Biliter, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, is a senior vice president on the Fox side. Tony says, quote, "Announcing ESPN as our first bundle partner," so maybe they're doing more partners, "is evidence of our desire to deliver the best possible value and viewing experience to our shared customers. Viewers will have access to an incredible portfolio of content through this bundle, including NFL, NBA, WNBA, MLB, NHL, college football, and basketball, NASCAR, IndyCar, UFC, as well as the upcoming FIFA World Cup and more as we continue to look for opportunities to streamline the user experience, especially for the ultimate sports fan. I think we could have used another period somewhere in there, but the bottom line is that quote shows you exactly how comprehensive this is. Now, I should also let you know that ESPN is doing their own separate bundles because ESPN and Disney are basically the same thing. The ESPN service, you can get it for $29.99 a month, but it's also a little bit of a discount if you go in on an annual basis. They chop off a few months, basically 2 months for free, $299.99 if you want to pay annually. You get 47,000 live events, some in the past, obviously all the ones in the present, and future studio shows and more. You can bundle the ESPN app with Disney Plus and Hulu with ads for $35.99 a month, or without ads for basically $45 a month. Or, and I know this is a little bit confusing because there's so many like a la carte options here, ESPN Plus, you can still get that alone, separately, so it's just the ESPN Plus offerings for $11.99 a month or $120 a year. Got all that? Like, there's a lot of choices and options here as I get to my takeaways. I think ESPN and Fox collaborating on this with all of their sports properties, and we'll talk about NBC and CBS potentially joining in just a second. This is old media's best answer to the new streaming world. Like these old entities, they had to get together, these legacy properties had to get together and look at each other and say, you know what, as much as we've always been competition, we kind of need each other. And if this sparks a deal that somebody would go in on both of our services all at once to get a better deal, then maybe it's in everybody's best interest. Are they taking each like a $5 hit per month? But yeah, maybe they're also getting new subscribers because somebody wanted to try and get Fox and ESPN. And look, being honest, if you get the Fox and ESPN apps or DTC services, Fox One and ESPN combined, you're getting a lot of sports programming. You're not getting all of it. You're obviously not getting NBC. You're not getting CBS stuff. But Fox and ESPN, that covers a lot of ground, and especially in the football world. So my question is, if you are NBC and you have Peacock, or you are CBS and you've got the whole Paramount Plus platform and what you're trying to grow, at some point, is it best for these networks, as much as they all got separated when people got away from cable and satellite and you had to get them individually, is it best for them all to somehow, some way come together in the future? Would NBC and CBS consider joining some of this momentum now that's already been gained by basically Disney and Fox? Here's a concern I have, though. What happens inevitably when the cost of one or both of these services goes up? Because I'm not against the prices that are being offered right now, but I just wonder where they'll be in 3 years. If we're talking $40 for a combined service, is it $45 in a year or two? Does it go to $50 pretty quick? Are we talking $75 by the end of the 2020s? Very possible. And I understand inflation, I understand all that stuff, but I think what they're trying to do right now is get you at a very good price that's ultimately only going to go up. And yes, that's the nature of everything here. But I'm wondering if a lot of these streaming services might want to start offering a loyalty price lock. Now, I know a lot of you out there are saying, I would love that. I don't know if it's possible from the business side, but what if you locked in right now? If you are an early adopter and subscriber to this ESPN DTC service or Fox One, what if you locked in $29.99 a month for one or $39.99 a month for both for like 10 years? Doesn't that feel a little bit more satisfying to know that, hey, I really want to get in on this? And maybe more people would do like a 10-year deal to get in on that. A loyalty price lock. I don't know if the networks would offer that or be open to that, but I do think that a lot of viewers and subscribers would be open to that. But again, when the cost of one goes up, right, when ESPN says, all right, we just took on some more new deals, we got to raise our prices, does Fox have to raise their price? Do they lower it? Do they keep it the same? How do they do this? Now that you're inviting so many people to the party, when one of their situations changes, how does it affect the bigger picture? And then the last thing I want to say here is, I understand where people were in the last 5 to 10 years and paying $200, $250 a month for their cable or their satellite subscription and package. So that was one fatigue that sports viewers had, was I don't want to pay this much per month or per year on my cable and satellite, viewing habits. But now we're getting to the point of maybe subscription fatigue. and you already subscribe to 5 or 10 things that have nothing to do with sports and entertainment and media. And then there's another 5 for work or something you need professionally. And now there's going to be 5 or 10 for your sports and entertainment viewing. So I'm wondering if the fatigue is only going to evolve and change from paying so much in one place for all of your viewing to having so many different places that you're paying a decent amount. And actually, when you add it up, in the end, are you paying anything different? Are people going to subscribe to all these things? Is there going to be such a thing that's already developing called subscription fatigue? Let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. But going back to the main point of this video, again, ESPN and Fox, 2 networks that were competing, doing their own thing for the longest of times individually, even to put them on the same screen together as collaborative partners is something that you just would not have expected. Somebody like myself, who's worked in this broadcasting field for several decades, would have seemed quite far-fetched, especially 10, 15 years ago. But again, here in 2025, this, I think, is their best way to keep subscriptions and to keep customers and to keep what they do rolling at the highest levels. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below. Also, a thumbs up while you're down there. Greatly helps me, this video, and this channel. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you back here next time.